Well, I think we're all plugged in, we're recording, the microphone's working. Great, welcome, my name's Stephen, and in today's video, I will be sharing with you my top 11 tips for you to photograph your autumn or fall landscapes to get the best photos you can. And at the end of this video, I will be telling you about my New Zealand autumn photography tour in 2023, and I will tell you about my new autumn collection of ready-to-hang artwork that has just launched, and finally I will tell you about my new film photography book, Volcanic Aotearoa New Zealand. So lucky. If there's one thing that New Zealand's South Island does well, it's autumn colours. Growing up on the other side of the world in the United Kingdom, autumn is a season that I am familiar with, but not in a unique scenery like the landscape of New Zealand's South Island. In 2013, I arrived in New Zealand experiencing volcanic landscapes and alpine environments for the very first time. And with beautiful autumn scenery like this. It did not take me long to realise that my move to New Zealand was for the best. New Zealand is a beautiful country, and the more I explore it, the more I feel connected to it. My path to photography started with my passion for exploration and adventure. My camera allows me to capture the landscape of this beautiful country and share it with you. Absolutely beautiful. Couldn't get any better than this. Every year, I watch the landscape as it transitions between the seasons, and in autumn, the landscape becomes vibrant and my connection with nature becomes stronger as I watch it transform. In autumn, this is what drives me to explore, and I feel a true sense that I am exactly where I am supposed to be, creating artwork amongst the mountains to capture a singular moment with my photography in the short yet vibrant life of autumn. Life as a photographer in New Zealand is an endless exercise of exploration, whilst travelling the roads less travelled, to overcome the challenges that appear, and with a unique creative mind. My passion for exploring New Zealand continues to grow every day. My name is Stephen Milner. I am a photographer, and New Zealand is my home. So let's get started. Some tips on how you can get the best out of your photography this autumn. Number one, photograph during the golden hour. Seems a bit obvious, and this is relevant for all landscape photography, but take advantage of the warm sunlight when it shines over the landscape at a low angle. It will make the landscape appear vibrant, and especially where there is already vibrant autumn colours, the low angle of the sun will create beautiful micro contrast in the landscape, especially if the direction of the sun is from the side or behind you. Keep an eye on the sunset and sunrise times and watch out for other elements in the landscape that may cause unwanted shadows in the landscape. Keep an eye on the weather and plan when you will be doing your autumn photography. What another beautiful scene. Mount Cook off in the distance. And yeah, let me just turn you around so you're on the right side of the light. Absolutely beautiful colours. This photo is one that I'm really happy with, that shows that beautiful golden light shining over those autumnal trees, and there's an amazing mountain in the background, Mount Cook, beautiful mountain. And I'll show another example of a photo here from a similar location, but I just didn't quite get the timing right for this photo. There was some mountains causing some shadow on the low-lying autumnal trees there. It just throws the contrast off. I would have preferred for this photo if the autumnal trees were in sunlight and the mountain was in more shadow. It would have just made those autumnal trees just pop a little bit more. And number two, fog and overcast days can be just as good. Autumn isn't a season where you can expect sunshine every day. Don't be afraid to photograph your autumnal landscapes when it's foggy or overcast. Fog does a wonderful job of diffusing the light. It will soften the landscape and create a painterly effect to your photos. Overcast days make autumn photography possible all day long because the clouds will diffuse the light. Diffused light is great for those telephoto, abstract photos. If you're using your wide-angle lens, be patient and time your photos to when there is direct sunlight on the autumn trees. This will add some nice mood to your photos. Well, right now I'm in a real awesome spot for autumnal type photos. Yeah, it's such a beautiful place. The weather conditions today were not as predicted. I was expecting clear sky, but in fact we've actually got overcast. So contradicting information from two different weather apps. But nevertheless, I'm still in a great place here, and it's given me an opportunity to test out some of my telephoto type skills and working quite closely with some of these trees. On the way down here, I had visions in my mind of mountains and autumnal trees and stuff, but because of the cloud cover, that's just not possible because you can't even see the mountains. But yeah, when you've got colour like this though behind me here, absolutely beautiful. So yeah, working with my 100 to 200mm lens and also my wide angle lens, my 32 to 64, getting in nice and close, and it's just such a beautiful place, very abstract. I'm not even including any of the sky. We are just focusing on the best bits of the photo, which right now are these beautiful trees and then this kind of orangey, yellowy gold type tussock in the foreground. Number 3, don't make autumn colours the primary focus of your landscape photography. If you're using a wide-angle lens, have a think about what you want your primary focus of your photos to be. Wide-angle lenses are awesome for emphasising the foreground or sky. Try to compose your landscapes with other elements like rivers, waterfalls, paths that are surrounded by the autumn colours. This approach will help you create a feel of human connection to your photos. This is the first time I've been out doing landscape photography in the South Island of New Zealand, and I did not know it was this good. Because just look at these trees. We're in a wildlife sanctuary right now, and there's just a lake here that's surrounded by trees in autumn colours. It's just absolutely beautiful. There's a couple of boats here, and there's people obviously go fishing here. You can see behind me here a few boats. So I had some of these in the foreground with the trees arching over. Yeah, and you can see the lake and a little boardwalk here. Absolutely beautiful. Couldn't get any better than this. Number 4, look for patterns and textures. Don't just think wide and big. Try to use your telephoto lens just to pick out some intricate elements of the autumnal landscape and try to create some abstract photography. Use colour carefully in these types of photos and look for patterns. Contrast is also important. Look for contrasting textures, colours and tones, and experiment with your aperture settings to create contrast in sharpness and softness. This can be a nice technique to emphasise the important elements in your photos. Yeah, when you've got colour like this, absolutely beautiful. So yeah, working with my 100 to 200mm lens, lots of photos here. Initially I only just saw one photo, but then I really started to, instead of thinking broadly, I started to think a bit more narrowly and focusing in on areas, and I took so many photos here. Such a beautiful place. Number 5, look for elements that contrast with the fall colour. When you're exploring your autumnal landscapes, look for other elements in the landscape that contrast the warm autumn colours. Prioritise photographing your landscapes when the light is on the autumn trees and allow the surrounding landscapes to be in shade. Shade areas will naturally have a blue hue, and this will contrast really nicely with the warm yellow autumn colours. Wow, we just experienced a really lucky moment here. Down here is Arrowtown, we're just slightly above here. And a minute ago it was raining, and then all of a sudden the skies opened up and we had light rays coming through, illuminating the autumn colours. Absolutely beautiful. Number 6, very important, be patient. Learn to work with the weather conditions that you have and be patient. Keep an eye on the autumnal colours and try to photograph them when they're at their best. However, don't be afraid to photograph autumn trees at the start of autumn when the leaves start to change and they have different colours, and also at the end of autumn when the leaves are brown. While autumn colours are wonderful, they can be even more stunning when combined with the right light. For instance, a small patch of sunlight on a carefully placed patch of autumn trees, or dappled light hitting a sea of yellow trees. This will create some mood in the landscape and is often the difference between a good image and a great image. Unfortunately, the light rarely does what we want exactly and when you want. So if you find a beautiful composition, be ready to wait for the perfect light. Number 7, take advantage of natural framing. Try to use the natural forms of the autumnal trees and other elements of the surrounding landscape to create unique compositions by using their form to frame elements in the landscape. Look for branches, leaves, trees, or other natural elements that can frame your main subject. Do so will emphasize the main subject of your image, and you will have a beautiful and interesting frame around it. So lucky. If there's one thing that New Zealand's South Island does well, it's autumn colours. Beautiful. Amazing. Number 8 is use a circular polarizer. The circular polarizer is your best friend for autumn photography, regardless of whether you're photographing abstract or expansive scenes. There are several benefits of using one, but here are the most important ones. Number 1, it enhances the contrast in colours by removing glare on the shiny autumn leaves and by deepening the shadows. Number 2, it enhances the blue sky on clear days, but be careful when using it with wide-angle lenses on large blue sky areas in your photos to avoid banding. Number 3, it removes unwanted glare from rain and wet days. Number 4, it allows you to use a slightly slower shutter speed, which can be ideal for photographing bright rivers and streams. But yeah, just been doing some photography here of these autumnal colours. You just see there's a beautiful kind of path down here. Just been using the Fujifilm GFX50S2, and I've got the 32-64 on here with a polarizer, and this polarizer is doing a great job of enriching those colours, and I'm really loving the blue tones that we're getting on this bark and the contrast between that and the yellow leaves and some red leaves. I've been doing some wide angle stuff, I've been doing some close-up stuff, some abstract stuff, and yeah, it's just generally looking beautiful. So lucky. If there's one And number 9 is apply a warm white balance. When you're editing your photos, keep in mind that your camera system may not automatically set its best colour profile for autumn colours. Manually adjust your white balance during editing to reduce blue and boost yellow. This will complement the autumn colours and give your photos a warm feel. And number 10 is apply a colour grade. I've already mentioned that opposite colours work well with each other. When you're editing your photos, apply a colour grade that emphasises the autumn feel. Boost the warmth of your photos with a yellow colour grade, and to contrast the yellow, add a subtle blue colour grade to the shadow areas. Number 11, explore, be unique, and try to create a collection of photos. If you can, try to explore areas that have seen less foot traffic. This will give you the best opportunity to create something unique. And when you find it, let your creativity run wild. Try to create a collection of photos that tell a story of your autumnal experience. And that's it for the tips. I really hope you enjoyed that. If you want to add something to this content of this video, please leave a comment in the description section of this video. I will read them all, I will respond accordingly. Thank you very much. And now for some updates. The New Zealand South Island Autumn 10-day photography tour in April 2023. I'm really excited to announce this. It starts on the 17th of April 2023 in Queenstown and finishes on 26th of April in Queenstown as well. It's a 10 days of autumnal landscape photography around Queenstown, Arrowtown, Macetown, Wanaka, Mount Cook and Tekapo. These are awesome landscape photography spots, some of the best locations that New Zealand has to offer. And the best thing about this trip is it's all autumnal colours. There is beautiful trees down there. You will not be disappointed. I really want you to come on it. I really want to show you my home country because I really think you'll love it. All the accommodation has been booked. And there will be a link in the description section of this video. If you want to go and check that out, please do so. And if you've got any questions, contact me through my website. And for 2022, I've just launched my autumn artwork collection on my website. Go check it out. I think you'll appreciate it. There are options for mounting and framing. They are ready to hang on your wall. And if you live in the USA and Canada, I can do free shipping. Go check them out. Again, there'll be a link in the description section of this video. And finally, my Volcanic Aotearoa New Zealand photography book is selling now on my website. Go check it out. If you want to support me and support this channel, it's a really affordable way to do that. Links for all those things are in the description section of this video. Go check them out. Really appreciate it. Thanks once again for watching this video. Give it a thumbs up, leave a comment, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now. Take care.